Baby, thank you for the opportunity. And first of all, I would say I'm glad to be in Army this evening. It would be an interactive session. You don't just want to. I don't just want to be the one doing the talk and talk. No, I'm not the radio. So I would ask questions, and at that point, I would love us to um give me response. So quickly before I go on, I am an hardcore Christian, so I would love to pray. Am I permitted?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So, dear Father, I thank you this evening for the opportunity. And I ask and pray, dear Lord, that you would help us because it's more than talking. Our mental health and clarity is beyond us. So we ask and pray that you teach us yourself in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All right.
Amen.
Thank you. Not everyone likes that. So the topic majorly is mental clarity, clearing the chaos for a focused future. And then when I saw it, I was like, this is deep. Because indeed, everyone we know in this country, in Nigeria, as students, it is the noise everywhere is just so noisy. And at times you feel lost. At times you feel confused. At times you feel, what's going on? And at times you just want to give up. At times you drop everything and you just lie down. I'm like, I'm not doing again. But then that's when we need to have this clear reasoning. That's when we need to have this clear reasoning. We know that this world is filled with, it's loud. Yes, very loud. And at times, due to the prayer, I must have this as my CGPA. This is my goal. This is what I plan on doing. Apart from the fact that I want to believe everyone here we are students. Apart from the fact that we are students, we are also doing one thing financially. Okay, I can't just be a student. I cannot just be saying, hello mommy, I need this, hello daddy, I need that. And apart from that, we also have things personally that we want to do. If you're someone, or probably you gained admission to a school where like, it's not because you wanted to study, you are studying. Obviously, if you really have interest in what you want, you will be by the side. You'll be like, okay, this is what I want to do. This one is just let me just go to school. You are like you have your personal goals, and you're like everything is clouded, and your mind is so. At times you feel so confused. You feel it. Let me use this scenario. It's like your brain is like a room that is so cluttered and so jam-packed. Yes, let me use that word, jam-packed. Everything is just on the floor. You have this you have an interest in this, you have an interest in that. Okay, I think I can do this. Okay, I think I can do that. And then we at times we get so it's so overwhelming, and then we just lose it. That's why I think it's our generation, as they say, depression is more rampant, and it's because we have not really mastered the art of handling our mental state. Everyone just wants to do it. Prayer, do wow. That's the word they use. That prayer, do wow. But then, I want us this night to understand that we don't need to be pressured. We don't need it. So quickly, I'm just going to dive into ways that we can use to reduce this mental clarity, to be more clarified about things mentally. For me, I'll use a practical session. I'll use a practical example. I have so many couple of things that I do as a student. I'm a student, and permit me to say this, I'm the class rep for my department. I work, that's I bake by the side in school, and mind you, the reason why I'm in school is to get a good grade and all. So at times, there are times where I feel so confused. But I decide at the same time, I have some other couple things that I do, and How will I go home and tell my mommy that, mommy, I didn't have a good result, blah, blah, blah. There are three things I would say that helps me. The first thing I'll say is this. Find the time. Just stay apart. Yes. Most times, the noise is so overwhelming. The pressure from home, pressure from friends. We have friends that they will see you, they're like, hey, Opa, are you in your mind? They're like, Kilopo. And then in that prayer to want to meet up with the standards of the way people are looking at you, the prayer to want to meet up with the standards that you have, the prayer to want to meet up with the standard that everyone is setting for you, it's I. For me personally, when I get to that break point, because no one, I myself, I'm not perfect, yes, I can say that. But through God's help, as I said, I'm an hardcore Christian, so through God's help, I developed these three things that has been helping. I find time to stay alone. Mostly, in school, there are so many trees in my school, so I might just be alone under a tree, thinking, away from the noise, away from the awkward friends, away from the tax. Yes, there are times it's not laziness. The feeling of you wanting to drop everything is not laziness. It's just that you feel so overwhelmed. So your mind, obviously, trying to help you, says drop it. But you're like, if I drop this thing, I'm being lazy. It's not laziness. At times, you need to listen to what your body is telling you. At times, I just drop it off my phone. Just sit under a tree. Think. I'm a deep thinker. So when I sit alone under my tree, I have a particular spot in school where no one knows. It's like secluded from everybody. Mind you, I'm not depressed, because some people count that as category of being depressed. I'm not. It's just my own way of finding closure and thinking. So I will not be mad. Everybody is mad. Yeah, I'm not mad. I need to know what I'm doing, because there are times the noise is too much. So the first thing I'll say is this: set aside yourself. Maybe a quiet space, or find a corner in your room that you know you can sit down and think. 2, write a lot. And I know they say the sharpest, what's that word again? The idiom or whatever. It's by writing. We at our age group, we have this kind of mentality that, yes, my brain can take it all. You want to do this, you did not write it down. I need to do that, you did not write it down. And then at the end, your brain is so messed up, jam-packed. So me, when I think, I don't just think, I write down what I think. That's the key. Firstly, find a place, stay apart, and think about yourself. Hey, okay, this prayer is too much on me. What can I do? Think. Then write down those thoughts, because you might forget. And in the process of trying to remember, you instead of helping, you are doing yourself more harm. So write down those thoughts. And when you write it down, just take a deep breath. Then begin to re-strategize again. Because I've realized the reason why most times we come into that kind of situation is because probably the plans we made failed, or probably it begins to re-strategize. Yes. Then first, like I said, set aside yourself and think. Then 2, write down your thoughts. 3, last but not least, one thing that we overlook a lot: we don't take enough rest. See, in this thing in our mental state, we have to rest too. I know we're in a world where everyone is working and this and that. Fine. They say 8 hours is too much. But there are some of us who don't even sleep up to 2 hours. I know a friend, I have to tell him, I say, guy, at this rate, you will collapse. All these dreams you are chasing, you will be on the hospital bed. Those dreams nobody will take. So why don't you just take time apart and sleep? I sleep, not majorly sleeping. Don't let me use the word. Don't let me say sleep, because some people don't like sleeping. Find something to do that eases your mind. If you're someone that you love music and playing music helps to relax your mind, During that time, play music. Long, if you're someone that find an hobby that can help you relieve stress. When I am stressed and my body is telling me, Eniola Esther Alpha, I sleep. For someone I know, he plays music. For someone, she can just go about walking on the road, just like taking a stroll. Don't just be at one spot. Especially those the guys doing tech and all. I don't know if there's anybody amidst us who is a tech guy into coding and all. These people, I tell them a lot. Those are my friends. I tell them, see, I understand the fact that you are coding or probably you are trying to build a website or anything. See, even your mind, your brain, if you don't give it rest enough, I know you have deadlines. See, that thing about deadlines is so frustrating. When you have so many deadlines to meet, and you're like, which one will I even start from? Me, when I'm confused that way, I just say so away. I think, and probably if I feel like this thing itself is adding to my problem, I sleep. With 30 minutes, by the time I'm awake in the next 30 minutes, I'm back. I'm energized again. Then I will even function better. Because if we need to understand that when we are in that condition, you will not be able to work well. Fine, you might meet up the deadline, you may be able to do everything you need to do, but there is this kind of dissatisfaction that you may get when you do it under stress. Yeah, there are times where you need to, as much as I'm saying we need to rest and all, there are times I know we need to just do it. Yes, but then let's combine everything. A friend of mine asked me, said, how are you able to cope? And which is the last thing I'll tell you that I did, that I found ways to help myself. It was like, how do you cope doing everything together and you are not collapsing? I said, well, for me, I don't know if we all did economics in secondary school, but I did economics in secondary school. And I was taught something about the scale of preference. I think that was in Ep7. 1 or 2 when I did economics, the scale of preference. I write out those my plans and my goals and the things I do according to the way they are important to me. And then I say this. I told my friend, I said, see, let me be honest with you. I'm not perfect. I don't do everything. You just, okay, probably because you told me today doing this, tomorrow is, Eniola, every jackal. I said, no, it's not like that. I have this rule in my mind. I say I'm balanced, and being balanced doesn't. And at the same time I'm balanced, I'm not balanced. Let me explain what I mean by that. I have this in my mindset. Being balanced does not mean I'm 50-50. I'm not a 50-50 person. I know I'm not. 70-30 is not still balanced. 90-10, 90%, 10%. I'm still balanced. So I find a way to put more preference over the ones I feel that I know are important. And then when I feel it and I sit down and I think and I'm like, okay, I think this one I can allow it to die for now. I can really just say no. I'm not interested in doing this. I can put probably like 5% and all. That helps me in keeping my mental health because let's not lie. This world is so chaotic. So many plans. So many. And funny thing is this: the pressure is never ending. It is never ending. As long as we live, the pressure will keep on increasing. But then, the only way we can save ourselves is just think, stay apart, ignore the noise. I do that a lot. I ignore whatever anybody is telling me. I ignore it because I have a saying. I say, oh, let's fear past me. You can't kill me. You can't kill me because I want to be like you. You cannot come and take my life because I just want to be like you. No, it's not done that way. So, to round up everything I've been saying, a mental clarity does not mean you have a perfect life. It doesn't mean having a perfect life. It means you are able to clear the noise so you can hear yourself. Focus on what matters and move towards your future with peace. Because our minds it's like water. When you are boiling a water, no matter how much you stare into the water, you will never see your face. But when it's calm and cool, you can see your outline clearly. That's the way our mind is. So when you are boiling, when you are overwhelmed with those thoughts, when your mind is screaming and shouting, everything is calling to your attention. It's not at that time you need to act. At that time you just need to rest, sit down, calm down, and then it is only at that time you can work effectively. So, thank you everyone. I don't know if anyone has questions to ask me.
Thank you very, very much, Ma. Like she said, it's going to be an interactive section, right? So if you have any question, please she's very, very open to answer all our questions. Joshua, do you have any question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
The question I want to ask is about we're talking about mental health, like how we can reach to control our thoughts so they cannot affect like the way we are doing our day-to-day activities and the rest. So what about I just want to ask about like overcoming let me see evil thought, like thoughts of temptation, those kind of thing. Like how can we like overcome it, like in like sometimes you can apply all those things you said, like resting, like let me see, rest and like clear your mind and all those stuff. But what if it still comes, like when like you're about to like operate or function, something like will just come to your mind, and like you don't want to do that, but the thing just gets into your mind. Like how can you just overcome all those kind of thoughts that are not supposed to be right? I hope the question is not that complicated, Ma.
If I can give Abu Bakar,
Yes, Abu Bakar Joshua, yeah.
Okay, Abu Bakar. If I got your question right, you were saying even after doing all those necessary things that I said to clear your mind.
Yes.
What do you then do when at some point you cleared your mind, you've rested, and at a time when you want to function, some thoughts that are not so good come again, and then you begin to feel demoralized. Is that like what you're trying to ask?
Yes, ma.
Something like that, right? I want to be sure I got it right. Okay.
Yes, ma. Yes, ma.
I'll use a story to answer your question.
Okay.
At one point in my life, I tried all I could. I had the present thoughts actually. I had the plans to kill myself and all. I say this to anyone who cares to listen. I've once been in shoes where I've been depressed, wanting to end my life, everything. And then every time I try, I go online a lot that time. I'll go online, ways to cool your mind, ways to do that. Nothing worked. And then that's why I'm going to say this. At that point in my life, I felt there's no need. Let me just die. Let me kill myself. So what helped me at that time? And at that time, the prayer was not so much, though. I just entered university. Which prayer am I giving? But life can be very funny. I met someone, and that person changed my life. I met Jesus. Yes. And he taught me ways. So you see, at those times where you feel you've rested, you've done everything, and those thoughts keep coming. The practical approach to it is meet Jesus. Yes, I'll say him openly because he saved me from killing myself. and from a depressing lifestyle. I was just there. Yes, meet Jesus. Okay. And if you feel like, okay, I'm a Christian, I'm born again, or probably if you're a Muslim. I know, see, I do this a lot. Whenever I am confused and I've thought, I've slept, everything is not working. I speak to myself, not entirely to myself per se, not like I'm talking to myself per se. I talk with my father, who is God. And I'm like, God, how far? I don't tire. I sleep, I wake up, nothing work. Sorry I'm using pidgin, but I'm saying it the way I speak to him. I said, nothing they work out far. God, waiting stop. Look me now. I will die. I'm not kill myself now. And then at that point I began to find closure. I began to find peace. Yes. Because at that point what you need is peace. Because even there are times where you'll be stressed. But if you don't have peace, nothing will work out. What you need is peace. Yeah. So Abubakar Joshua. If you're someone that writes, at those points when even after you feel discouraged, you've rested and everything, pick up your pen. I write, so I'm just going to say based on what I do. Pick up your pen and write. Write how you feel. It's an act of journaling, but that's like more like what only you can see. Write it out. Write how you feel. This is what I feel. This is that. I don't understand. For me, when I'm going to say, when I write, I don't just write for myself. I write it for myself and my father. So that's God. And I'm like, God, okay, this is how I feel. This is that. It's not good too. And definitely an answer comes. Peace comes. I say this to anyone who cares to listen to me. God is my number one. God is number one thing. He's the number one factor. He's the one that created our minds, yes. He's the mastermind behind everything. So if indeed you want to find peace and clarity, you can only find it in God. If you're a Muslim, you can only find it in Allah. So, with this open the mind, I hope I've been able to clear the confusion a bit, Joshua.
All right. Before we go, Ma, I have just one question. And that is, I hooked up Google and I searched for the percentage of people that get depressed by the day, every day, and I realized that 20% of the ages between 15 and 20, right, get depressed, and the thought comes to mind, like, what are the possible reasons for this depression in the first place?
I'll say this at first. Depression is so many factors. Yes. The social factor, which is mostly what causes depression. Then we have lifestyle factor. We have those they don't sleep. Let me break it down. The reason why people around the age of 15 to 20 get depressed mostly is because that's not like the time where they are depressed. I think they've passed. They're probably coming from that things like brain, then changes in their bodies and all. I mean, for some people, like I said, the social factor it's it's what causes depression. In let's put into you are a girl, and then in I think it's a part of Nigeria you do that, where the girl child is really really lost, and then probably because towards the time when you were little, your father, I actually said this in the movie. He wanted a boy child, so at all costs he made his daughter a boy.
Wow.
So now let's imagine that first she now began to grow. Obviously, the changes in the body became so evident that people had to form. This is a gift. The father then discards her. A girl child like that, the probability to get probably a 50% probability because the lack of love, probably no support from anybody. And then the girl is like, why? Questions seem to come. And she thinks some people they don't know how to make, they don't know how to turn their weaknesses to strength. So the fact that they see those weaknesses just becomes depressing to them. So many questions come and all. So that's one reason why some get depressed. We should not also forget the fact that that some medical conditions can cause depression.
Yeah.
Some people, yes, some medical and even the hormonal, some hormones. That's why I said even towards the time of growing, towards puberty, pregnancy, and all. I think there's something they call postpartum depression for those who just give birth, them, just who are just or whatever. So depression is it's not just on just one side. It relates with everything. There are some people that father was depressed, so it was passed genetically. There are some people that it's genetics. It was not it's not something that they had the power over. It was passed down genetically. There are some people that it's probably due to hard drugs, yes, or due to some certain drugs that they take. In biochemistry now, I was taught, I think, yes, and I've come to understand that depression can also be caused by low levels of neurotransmitters. We have some neurotransmitters that are needed to function well in your body. And when those things are low, when they are not really functioning, they cause depression. Also, depression can also be caused by the way we live. Yes.
Yeah.
You don't sleep. You get foggy. Your mind is foggy and it's like it's cloudy. I don't know about there are some set of people that if they don't sleep, they kind of have this, they feel sad. I'm sorry because I know someone like that if she has not slept, she will be angry and sad, like very sad. And I'm like, go and sleep. So imagine someone like that. She doesn't get enough sleep for some days or probably for a long time. This kind of person will be depressed. Hallucination comes in, evil thoughts comes in just because of lack of sleep. So it's wide. It's not just, and some people get depressed probably due to financial struggles. So many worries in this country. Someone was saying Nigeria alone is enough for you to think about your life. I think I saw a meme online like if you are born in, I think they were trying to count scores that if you are in Nigeria, life has beat you 1-0. and I was just laughing because let's be truthfully, at times it's like that. So the economy situation at times can be very depressing. When you look at it, you're like, but then I just want to tell us that depression is something we can overcome. I overcame it. I'm a living testimony that depression, it is only if you allow it. If you allow it, that is when it kills you. If you don't, if you fight it, you have the enough sense, or be the not sense. Well, that's not the right word. If you have the willingness, yes. Enough, the willingness to overcome it, you definitely will.
Mm.
And I think, yeah, majorly that's what causes depression. It's not just one thing. So many things coupled together can be the cause for the depression. I hope I've answered your question.
Yeah, thank you so very much, Ma. Please let's appreciate Esther and Lionel. I was thinking because you guys requested that you want a female guest to take one of this series, right? And yes, she is, right. And one of the reasons why I actually reached out to her was two things. Like she said, she's privileged to be one of the rep for biochemistry, right? And in Lautech, that's one of the toughest courses, right? And she's actually the rep. And I can tell you that from the way not the way I perceive, but my observation since 100 level, 200 level, even down to the current level right now, like the way she handles. Sometimes I ask myself, how does she handle this craziness? Because when people are jumping on you like every day, they are calling you like you came to school to serve them, right? And I was like, how does she handle this with her own life, like her own? She has a life of her own and all of that, right? But I believe that we have learned quite a lot today. Number one, you need to have an alone time. You need to have a time where you think. I think I did that this evening as well, because I was thinking like October is coming to an September is coming to an end. So what's the next thing for myself in this year, right? And I just had an alone time right this evening, right? So you must have an alone time. Then secondly, you must write down those thoughts that come, because when you have an alone time, you always have thoughts. So it's important that you write down. She said, write down what you think. So I'm just doing a brief recap, and then the next thing is find time to rest, and rest could be in form of your hobby, right? And then last but not the least is scale of preference. I think that's one of the most important things, right? When you wake up in the morning, there's this, will I call it adrenaline, that just comes. You want to do everything that, especially when you write your goals and your visions not prior to that morning. So that morning when you wake up, you always want to just go in all. But the secret is, as Eniola has told us, is to scale the preference. Like, have a scale of preference. What should come first? What should come first before the other? Right. So I believe that we do not have any question, and if you do, maybe you think of something or you want to ask, you can reach out to me. I will pass the question across to her so she could answer you very well. So we have come officially. We have come to the end of this amazing session, and I am super grateful for the honor. Thank you so much, Esther, for accepting this invitation. It's been a wonderful time together this evening.